The Outlaws Pulling Series visits many outstanding venues, and one of the super tracks of the sport is in the heart of corn country in Rock Valley, Iowa. The locals have created a place with terrific turf where both trucks and tractors can take a bite, and today's competition is hungry.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
Welcome to Thunder in the Valley from Rock Valley, Iowa. I'm Claude Wood, and Dave Bennett, Rick Carlson, and I will be bringing you all of today's action. First up are the Light Limited Pro Stocks, and Dave explained to us how the sled is hooked to the tractor.
Well, everybody knows you drop a hook into a hole and pull the sled down the track, but the sled has got rules as well. Just like the hook has got to have a notch welded on the top of it to keep it from bouncing out as they go down the track. And that cable right there, very, very important, because that way we can kill the tractor from the sled at any time.
Getting it started, our first puller is Logan Barrett. He drives Wampus Cat, and sometimes he shares the driving duties with brother Alex.
Oh, the Barrett family out of Ravenna. Strong pullers, and he is proving it right here. Heavy duty pull, way on down the line, way on down. Good run, 3:12:32. What a way to start.
Excellent pull. Let's go to the replay. Spots the sled just to the right a little bit.
Yeah, the track play, you notice that here in Rock Valley, they've got as good a track as you want to find anywhere. It's a wide track. Going to give these competitors a good shot all day long. Let's go down to Rick Carlson, find out how well Logan liked it.
Logan, 3:12. I don't think you're going to do much better.
No, that one felt really good and fast. I'm really pleased with it.
That'll bring up Taylor Van Beek. He has all of the support of the crowd here. He's a hometown boy driving Extreme Pleasure.
International painted black, good looking tractor. Now he's moved over to out of the ruts of what the previous tractor did. Fresh dirt, fresh ground, and a little farther down the track. He found the sweet spot in the track. He's going to go 3:22:42 and take the lead.
The drivers, Dave, in the beginning, trying to find just that perfect place.
Oh, yeah, if you find the sweet spot, you're going to go farther down the track. You know, he was just a half a track off of where the previous tractor went. That's what he done. He tried to stay out of the ruts, but still stay in good dirt. Nice run.
Taylor, 3:22.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. You know, it's early in the class yet. I think the track's going to get a little bit better. Looks like we're carrying less dirt, but definitely felt good to see it go down the line and go straight and didn't have to hit the brakes much. So it's as good as we could have done for the position that we were in, so I'm happy.
No Mercy is the tractor driven by Leon Hellebush. He's from Marthasville, Missouri.
One of the guys that doubles over in different associations. He runs Excalibur, runs Outlaw. When the man shows up, you know you are in for a good pass. He shows no mercy to nobody. Drifted over to the right a little bit. Not going to be as far as he wanted, but still a decent pull, 3:11:67.
Well, that tells me no mercy. When you get out on the track, Dave, it is all business.
Well, if you noticed right there, he kind of hooked up to the sled a little bit crooked. He was pointed towards the corner he's driving to, and that pulled him over into some softer dirt, looked to me like.
And our next puller is David Novak, driving the Mean Farmer, and he comes from a real John Deere family.
We're farmers back home, back in Howells, Nebraska. We farm and we farm with John Deere, and John Deere green's kind of in our blood, so it has to be John Deere green.
Well, that experience sure runs deep. We'll see how that transfers to the track.
Well, the man knows what it takes to win. He's past points champion. Oh, let's get a little high in the front. When you got to tilt your head to look over the hood, you know you're a little light in the front end. Still made a good pass out of it. Going to slide down there at 3:10:40. That puts him in fourth place, but he knows he's in trouble.
One curious thing here, Dave, he did raise that front end quite a bit. Did his speed change when that happened?
Well, when that front end gets that high right there, you lower the drawbar. When you lower the drawbar, you take weight off the rear end. Therefore, you're not going to go as far, and he knows it, too.
David, as it got toward this end, the front end looked a little bit light.
Yeah, I should have probably had 200 more pounds on the front end. After I let the clutch out, I realized that, and I was in trouble from then on.
Our next puller up is Rodney Knott, and he calls his tractor Naughty Boys.
That's father and son team. We got Rodney on board today from Coffee, Missouri. See the wrinkle in the tires right there tells me he's got good air pressure, good bite. Front end up in there, it shows he's got bite. Bouncy, bouncy front end air up, motor pulling down. Not gonna like it. 296 and 50.
A very good pull as we check out the leaderboard. Taylor Van Beek way ahead right now in first place. Quite a battle for second, third, and fourth. Lots of good tractors left.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Bauer Built. Our strength is in our people and the customers we serve. Will Cross Seed. Good product, good prices, good service. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Rock Valley, Iowa. Well, you know you're in farming country when you see granaries like that. And a tremendous crowd on hand. Must be the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Here is Craig Yonke to keep it going.
Well, Yonke's been a past points champion, and with the points of this year, with the Outlaws, different setup. You're going to hear us talk points quite a bit, and this man is going to be in the chase. He is a contender every time he comes to the track. Backing the flagman up a little bit. Oh, yeah, good deal. 3:19.52 takes him to second place.
And Dave, right from the launch, Craig just drops that throttle.
Oh, yeah, come into it hard, got a little high. Drifting over to his left a little bit. He's going to get in somebody else's little ruts. Let's go down to Rick Carlson and see how Craig thought he done.
Craig, 3:19. It looked like it was going to make it kind of canny, and it just a little short.
Yeah, I think I hit somebody's holes, and it dug quite a ways, but just wasn't enough.
Running on red, this is Roger Learman. Now, Dave, it's early in the pool, but it seems like the track is already changing a little.
Oh, yeah, it will change all day long as we start in the middle of the afternoon, work into nighttime, the moisture changes. But the crew here at Rock Valley does a great, great job. Heard a little flutter in that motor right there. Heard a little bit of a flutter, pulled him down, 3:10.39. Not a typical run for the running on red.
And he set it up to the right of the track, wheels up. It looks like the track is pulling him over just a little bit.
He went to the right just a little bit, but that motor's still fluttering. I'm very concerned what took place right there.
Seth Novak getting ready to pull. His dad pulled earlier. Seth is a beginner with the Outlaws, but he's a quick learner.
When Dad bought his, I always like to kind of keep my eye on things and see what's going on, and whatever I could do to help, I do what I can. So I've been helping ever since we bought this one.
For driving, is he a good teacher?
Yeah, I'd say I've learned my driving skills from him, and he must know what he's doing. He has 3 points championships, so.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better teacher. Seth really got a good deal on this tractor, Dave, and it is still a work in progress.
Oh, yeah, this used to be the little green toy that lost the motor and took all the sheet metal plumb off of it. He picked it up and made it the bounty hunter. I'm watching him go down the track. Drifted to the left a little bit. Don't slide him in there. He's going to go in the top 5, 3:10 and 96.
It was a good run, but take a look at his left arm. He is really working the steering wheel.
The front end's up in the air. It's kind of instinct to turn that steering wheel. You got to be a little careful. It comes down and you're in the wrong place in front wheels. You'll dart and dive. 3:10 and 96. He beats Dad by 56 hundredths of a foot.
Seth, with your dad coming back and having you change some weights, I guess, you still both ended up at 3:10.
Yeah, he was a little light on the front end, so we moved a bunch of weight to the front, and even though we both went 3:10, I'm pretty happy with that run. This week we had to head off. Pretty much had the whole motor tore down because there's a bunch of stuff messed up from last week, so I'm pretty happy with that run.
3 pullers remain. This is Tim Lottman. Now, his tractor has been for sale, but Dave, I don't know, he keeps winning with it.
I'll tell you what, somebody can sure pick up a good one right here. He's had people look at it. Not a bad price, but it's not a bad runner. This guy wants to move up to the next level. The only reason it's for sale. I got a feeling the price just went up, $324.49.
What a great pull. Good enough, in fact, to put him into the lead.
He moved it plumb over to the far right. A little high up in the air. The track's working for him. He knew where he wanted to go. He wanted to get out of that loose dirt and put it into a really sweet, sweet spot.
324, you got the lead.
Yeah, it was a really exceptional pass. I was a little nervous. I didn't think the track was going to hang up, but it did. Very good track.
Take a look at the leaderboard. One John Deere in the first 5 positions, and he is your leader. Seth Novak just edging out his father for 6th place. Well, this is some good old tractor pulling 101. Tim Lottman hoping it's going to be like father, like son.
Well, he's going to have to hold off 2 other competitors, one of them the No Green, No Glory, Joe Moriando, past champion. A lot of action yet to come when we come back.
Welcome back to Thunder in the Valley, Rock Valley, Iowa. Great crowd on hand for the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Our next competitor coming up is this guy, Joe Moriando out of Mount Vernon, Missouri.
Well, you've seen the look of determination in his eyes. You've seen that right hand go all the way down. That is the throttle. He is gunning for number 1. That front end staying up in the air, carrying it, just barely skipping. Trying to take the same path as the leader, but run out of traction. 3:13.35 puts him in number 4.
A good pull, but Dave, right off the bat, he is wheels up in the air.
Just a little too high. That probably cost him a few hundredths of a foot, just taking a little traction off of those rear tires.
And 1 puller remains. The pressure is now on Tony Wortman.
Man out of Montgomery City, Missouri, runs a mechanic shop, owns his own mechanic shop, and he can make a diesel sing. He's tapped out the name of the tractor. Boys are going to live on that right side right now. You notice his front end's not as high up in the air, but it might have been just a little too low. There he goes to that number 4 spot there, really moving it around.
Final results, what a tightly contested field. Tim Lottman, Farmers 4Play. He is your winner. Those wild and crazy modifieds have been waiting patiently, but we're going to turn them loose. To get the class kicked off, this is Scott Bracken running 2 wild and crazy Hemi engines.
Calls the tractor the Outlaw, has nothing to do with the Outlaw Association. The tractor's been named the Outlaw for many, many years. Motor's wide open, tied crank to crank. Dancing around and starting to move over to the right. He better look out. The front tires is over the white line. If he could have went a little bit farther, but you know what? He is the first puller of this class, and being the first puller, and only the first puller, can refuse his pull. But that is a legal out of bounds, but he is going to turn that down. Oh, great shot, great shot. Keep in mind, the pulling sled can cross that white line, not the tractor.
And that will bring up a real veteran in this class, Wayne Longnecker. He calls his tractor the River Rat.
Out of Cambridge, Iowa. Rode up on Allison's, and then he changed from one airplane motor to the other. Used to run Allison aircraft, then he went to England, picked up this Rolls Royce, and that'll take him to the lead at 3:28.52. You see right there in the front of that motor, that big air intake and the big fan behind it, cramming air into that motor.
Well, Wayne started out pretty straight, but he ended up using pretty much of the track.
That's a hard left turn right there. Now, he's had mechanical difficulty earlier in the year. I hope he don't have more trouble with that rear end.
Wayne started off at 3:28.52.
I'm pretty happy with that. Last weekend we broke the rear end, so it's the first hook since then.
and thought we had a pretty good hook. So, we'll know a little more after a few more of the guys run, but so far I'm pretty happy with it.
From one aviation motor to another, this is Kyle Petch driving Thermal Thunder. His turbine, well, stand by for liftoff.
Oh, yeah, out of a helicopter, we're going to go rocking and rolling out of Milford, Nebraska. Oh, don't need that bounce. That's going to hurt him pretty hard. Burns it in, 286.07. Going to be good enough for second place, but I'm not too sure. Now, Claude, watch him when he comes offline. When he hammers it, those tires just light.
Should he have had some weight on the front end? What happened there?
I'm going to say he's more into air pressure. The front end carried pretty good, but when he asked him for the horsepower, it come on so hard that the tires just locked and jumped.
Extreme concentration, eyes on the prize. Jeff Geiger looking at the other end of the track.
Ready to run. A one-of-a-kind tractor in the world, one-of-a-kind motor in the world. A half of an Allison. Man's been working on it for 3 years. Seeing the clutch slipping. The problem he's got it where to run. Everything is there. Just trying to get that RPM up to where all those turbos are light. He can't call nobody. He just got to rely on his own expertise, and it's not going to work today.
Want some cotton candy? We'll have some for you when we come back to Rock Valley, Iowa. This is Cameron Neves. He pulls next.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Extreme Performance Tire Cutting, Be Supreme, by Extreme, Agency 212, Marketing, Communications, Public Relations, VP Racing, world leader in race fuel technology, and by Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
A great crowd on hand enjoying Thunder in the Valley from Rock Valley, Iowa, the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. And now this will bring up Cameron Neves driving Cotton Candy, 3 Chevys.
572 cubic inch Chevrolets, and spin and grin. Bounce up in the air. Those motors are struggling just a little bit, trying to crank 100-mile-an-hour tire not going to get him a second place at 303 and 59.
Well, 3 engines on board, but that's a lot of weight.
7,500 pounds. But anytime you hear 3 572 cubic inch Chevrolets pull down, that's telling you that this track got a hold of his horsepower. Rick Carlson's going to find out what Cameron has to say.
Cameron, it started off pretty well, but it looks like it got heavy toward the end.
It got pretty heavy real quick. The track's wet and it's good. Maybe should have run a little bit lower gear.
Well, here's the Turbinator featuring a turbine engine from a Chinook helicopter driven by Brett Behrens.
Brother team, you never know who's going to be in the seat, but we got Brett driving today. Perth, Nebraska hometown. Too much bounce, and the motor went down. Motor just died on him. 197.09. Now these turbine engines have a overspeed kill on them. If the motor gets too high, it'll automatically shut the engine down. I don't know if that's what happened or not, but look how fast it just dies right there. Exhaust fumes coming out, not going to work for him at all.
Boy, it died in a hurry too. Here comes running on empty. This is Jeff Paulson.
Another one of the triple Chevrolets sitting in a triangle. There's a 1-foot square gearbox connecting, aluminum gearbox, connecting all those motors together, trying to crank the tires up at 100 miles an hour. We're going to get a little wild, high up in the air. But settles back down pretty nice, but not a good distance, 296 and 37.
Let's take another look at Jeff's run. Look at the red butterflies, center top of the engine. Immediately open, and he's full throttle.
Oh, he went wide open really quick, which lit those tires. Tractor tried hard to get some traction, just wasn't going to work for him.
Scott Bracken was our first puller, went out of bounds, rejected that pull, so here he goes again.
As fortunate for him, he made some adjustments, whether he done it with air pressure, whether he done it with weight. Still trying to go over to the right just a tick. Now he's going to go to the left a little bit. Zigzag, whoa! Bang, bang, you've seen the sparks fly. Burst panel up in the front of that motor Clyde, look at the back motor, number 2 motor. You're going to see a fire and some sparks. Bang! Blew a burst panel. Burst panel is in the front of the motor, each and every one of them. When the blower builds up so much air pressure, that air's got to go somewhere.
Our next puller is Donald Nelson. He knows a thing or two about engine explosions. Yeah, been there, done that. Rick Carlson caught up with him.
We usually see Don Nelson on 2 different tractors when we go to the modified category, but Don, only one this weekend. What happened?
Last weekend we had a big event down in Texas, and on the first night, lost the rear planetary and the rear wheel axle, and the motor oversped, and the rods just came right out the side just that fast. I mean, there was no time to even get off the throttle. It was one of those deals, you know, you never want it to happen, but it's part of the game.
Donald Nelson, formerly driving the Texas Whiplash. Now he calls it the Texas Whip.
Yep, new version, new tractor, new setup. Notice how one motor's pointed forward, the other motor's pointed backward, joined in the middle. Them Hemis are singing, and he's making a pass. You gotta love it. 307 and 20. That'll move him into number 2 spot with those big Hemis.
And the crowd loving that. One puller remains, and it is Craig Ulmer. Wow, the pressure is on.
South Dakota, Craig Ulmer doing the driving. These are 3 Chevrolet stair-step, 3 motors, 3 clutches, 3 drive lines, rock and roll, wrinkling the tires. A lot of blow-by liquid coming out of that front motor, that overflow tube. Burning it in. 307 and 85 going to take him to number 2.
Modified final results. Wayne Longnecker, your winner, man from Iowa, with an English airplane motor. First, second, and third, Iowa, South Dakota, and Texas well represented today. And that will put a wrap on it from Thunder in the Valley, from Rock Valley, Iowa. Thank you for joining us today. For Rick Carlson and Dave Bennett, Claude Wood, so long till next time.